Welcome to Berry Life, bringing you easy and delicious vegan and vegetarian recipes every week. If you're a lover of baked casserole, but are looking for a vegan and gluten-free alternative, then look no further because, on today's episode, we're making a vegan cauliflower baked ziti with a homemade vegan ricotta, along with the vegan ragu, and as a bonus, it's gluten-free. This recipe was shared with us by our cousin, who enjoys new takes on traditional dishes. Cauliflower has gained in popularity over the last few years, and for good reason. It's packed in nutrients, it's a good source of fiber and antioxidants, and it's relatively low in calories. So let's get started. For this recipe we'll need 1.5 to 2 heads of cauliflower cut into florets, along with a 28 ounce of crushed tomatoes, 2 cups of vegan ricotta cheese, which we'll show you how to make in this video. It only takes a few minutes and you'll wonder what you did without it. We'll also use 8 ounces of vegan mozzarella shreds from Vialife, but feel free to use your favorite variety. About 1 cup of chopped onions, a tablespoon of minced garlic, 1/4 cup of fresh basil leaves, a tablespoon of tomato paste, 1 12-ounce packet of Impossible plant-based protein. If this isn't available where you live, feel free to use your favorite variety of plant-based protein. A teaspoon of red chili flakes and a teaspoon of dried oregano, along with a teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. And finally, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, extra virgin preferred. If you're new to this channel, glad you could join us. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of foodies. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Also be sure to share it with your friends and family to spread the love. By doing so, you'll be helping to support this channel, and we thank you for it. As promised, we'll start by making the vegan ricotta. For that, we'll need 1 block of firm tofu, which has been pressed to remove all liquid, along with a 1/4 cup of vegan yogurt. We have a Cashewmilk yogurt here, which is slightly tangy, but you can use this Coconutmilk yogurt as well, which is a little bit sweeter. A 1/4 cup of unsweetened plant-based milk. We're using soy milk here, but you could use coconut, almond, or oat milk. A tablespoon of Nutritional yeast. This contributes to a mild cheesy taste. A pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of lemon juice. If you want the ricotta to be a little bit sweeter, feel free to add a pinch of sugar. In the food processor, we'll add the tofu. We want the tofu to be really dry, which will help with the clumpy texture. We'll break it by hand before adding it to the processor to help it along. Now we'll add the soy milk. Add the nutritional yeast, the vegan yogurt, the lemon juice, and finally the pinch of salt. Now we'll process this mixture to a fine grainy consistency similar to traditional ricotta cheese. Did you hear about the ricotta that tried to be a bodybuilder? It was disqualified from competing because it lost too much weight. If needed, we'll stop and scrape the sides. We'll want to make sure everything processes evenly. What's heavier, a pound of milk or a pound of ricotta? A pound of milk, because ricotta is way less. This looks about right, so we'll stop here. We don't want to over-process, so we can maintain that slightly grainy texture. This is almost identical in taste and texture. The vegan ricotta is ready. Next, we'll blanch the cauliflower. We've brought a pot of water to a boil and added a teaspoon of salt, to which we'll add the cauliflower florets and boil for about 30 seconds. 30 seconds later, we'll gently remove them out of the water, strain any excess liquid, and transfer it to a bowl to cool off. The blanching process softens the cauliflower just slightly, and it helps prevent browning during baking. Now we'll set these aside and allow them to cool. Now we can make our vegan ragu. We'll place a saucepan over medium heat and to it we'll add olive oil. Once the olive oil heats up, we'll add the chopped onions. We'll sweat the onions for a couple of minutes, which softens the onions without browning. There, that looks great. Now we'll go ahead and add the minced garlic and saute that for a minute or two. By adding the ingredients one by one, we're building layers of flavor into the sauce. As you can see, a little bit of fond has begun to form at the bottom of the pan. Now we'll add the impossible plant-based protein and break it down into crumbles. We'll want to go ahead and brown the crumbles, signifying that it's cooked through. As the crumbles are cooking, they'll absorb a lot of that oniony, garlicky flavor. With the plant-based protein browned, we'll go ahead and add the red chili flakes and oregano, and continue stirring. Even more fond has formed at the bottom. More fond means more flavor. Next up will be our tomato paste. The paste will add a rich savoriness, which we'll incorporate by, you guessed it, more stirring. Always with the stirring. With the tomato paste incorporated, we'll go ahead and add our can of crushed tomatoes and stir until all the ingredients are thoroughly incorporated. We'll add a little bit of water to the can of crushed tomatoes and add it to the sauce. That little bit of water will help all the ingredients meld during cooking. And finally, we'll add a couple of tablespoons of freshly chopped basil and work that into the sauce. Now we'll go ahead and close the lid and bring the sauce to a simmer. Should only take a couple of minutes. It's been a couple of minutes, and the sauce is simmering. Now we'll take the lid off and allow it to reduce and thicken. By reducing the sauce, it really allows for the sauce to stick to the cauliflower. Our vegan ragu is done. Now we can move forward with putting the cauliflower ziti together. Before we assemble the ingredients, we'll preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius. First, we'll add our blanched cauliflower florets into the vegan ragu, and using a soft silicone spatula or a wooden spoon, gently combine, being careful not to break the florets. Love the way the sauce just sticks to the cauliflower. It's not watery at all. In our favorite casserole dish, we'll first lay down a layer of cauliflower. And then next, lay down about a cup of our vegan ricotta cheese, spaced evenly across the surface. Then we'll top it off with a layer of our vegan mozzarella shreds, along with some freshly chopped basil. That's it, that's our first layer. We'll go ahead and create a second layer just like it, starting with the cauliflower, then more ricotta, and top it off with the mozzarella shreds. And with the final bit of basil, we're ready for the oven. With the oven at our target temperature of 375 degrees Fahrenheit, we'll place the ziti on the middle rack and bake for 30 minutes. And with the magic of editing, it's 30 minutes later. In order to melt the mozzarella at the top, we'll set the oven to broil and broil for about a minute or two. We'll stay close by and monitor to prevent burning. It's been a minute, we'll go ahead and take the ziti out of the oven. And with that, our vegan cauliflower baked ziti is done. After allowing the baked ziti to cool off a little bit, we're ready to serve. We'll use a slotted spoon because during the baking process, the cauliflower does release water. However, as the ziti cools, that liquid will be reincorporated into the dish. Oh man, that rich red color of the stewed tomatoes is just so enticing. My mouth is already watering. The rough surface of the cauliflower just holds on to that sauce, even better than pasta. We'll add more fresh basil as garnish, and then dig in. The cauliflower still has a crunch to it. Take a little bit of that vegan ricotta, along with the ragu, Not only is this equally delicious to a traditional baked ziti, but it's hearty and wholly satisfying, and will definitely satiate the appetite. So do yourself a favor and give this recipe a shot. We think you'll be as pleasantly surprised as we were the first time we made it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments below what your favorite cauliflower recipes are. Also be sure to subscribe to help support this channel. Share it with your friends and family to spread the love. And click the bell icon to turn on notifications. We upload recipes every week, so you don't want to miss out. If you try this recipe, be sure to tag us on Instagram at BerryBerryLife. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching and enjoy!